Predominantly what I find in tech, and I think most people are doing this because even non-tech businesses are in tech these days, right? I mean, distribution companies are differentiating themselves through software engineering and the ability to innovate in innovative ways to distribute products and reduce supply chain costs and stuff like that. So I think one of the key things is they're never going to learn everything they need to know in school. Absolutely. So the ability to learn is a lifelong skill. It's not just something you do out of a book. And in the work environment, you don't learn by studying books. You learn through experiential learning, which means we try to encode things like debriefs, which is the reflective part of the process, which is we just went and did a major call with a customer. We sit down and do a formal debrief to what did we learn from that? How do we apply that to the next one? If we don't formalize that, then people tend to just go from one event to the next event to the next event. And pretty soon, you don't wake up with somebody with 20 years experience. You wake up with somebody with 1 year experience repeated 20 times, right? And research shows that most professionals, their learning curve tends to peak out at about 5 years out of school. And then you get somebody with 5 years of experience or somebody with 20 years of experience, but they really have 5 years of experience, and then the 5th year repeated 15 times. Because they've stopped learning. They got comfortable in their environment. They kind of
there's no new challenge.
Yeah, there's nothing new that they're breaking down, and we need people who are constantly challenging themselves to learn new things because our environment is constantly changing, and if you're not actively seeking and grokking new information, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't help very well. But the key things, I would say, learning is one of them, but that's kind of a meta skill. To me, critical thinking and communication skills are probably the two biggest areas where I see somewhere between happenstance, where sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't get it, to I'm routinely not getting it at all. And I think thinking skills, because learning and problem solving is so critical, people's ability to do critical reasoning and critical thinking and analysis of complex situations and understand key root factors and understand the difference between experience and evidence. And is that a fact or is that an opinion? I run into a lot of people who can't even tell the difference.
Yeah, anecdote versus
data. Sure. They don't understand, and they don't understand the proper use of data. And we're digitizing everything, so we live in a very analytical world these days. And I just don't see a lot of the critical thinking skills